One of the trending headlines on Google today is this giant virus and deadly parasite. Yep, I'm not kidding. This is the front page story in our infection incubus world of doom and gloom. So I checked the news like I do a couple of times a day, and I saw this article trending entitled, "Giant Virus Discovered in Wastewater Treatment Plant Infects Deadly Parasite." I thought, holy cow, this doesn't sound good. I better check this out. The article is about a wastewater plant where researchers at the University of Vienna isolated a giant virus that infects an almost always fatal parasite. There is no parasite running rampant or infecting people. There's no new giant virus threatening life on the planet as we know it. The implications of these findings is that researchers believe it may be a way to kill this deadly disease by infecting with the giant virus. So from a medical standpoint, it could be a good thing. But the media spins it to create fear about a super opportunistic infection. The headlines could read, "Breakthrough in Killing Deadly Parasite," but they did exactly the opposite with fantastic headlines designed to create fear. Awareness and education of the tactics used in communication is essential because when they own the information, they can spin it any way they want. You may see reposts of these articles on your favorite social media sites. So if you see posts from fearbots about this subject, share this video to nip the misinformation in the bud. Education is the only way that we can help others wake up from the spell of this mockingbird media that is controlling the minds of the world. So I'd like to expand a little on this terrifying headline about this killer parasite and giant virus, to expose the truth and demonstrate how information is being used to mold our minds into a narrative of helplessness, fear, and despair. Here we go. Let's dive deeper into the world of giant viruses. These intriguing entities were first discovered in the early 2000s, significantly later than their smaller counterparts. Their late discovery is largely due to their unusual size, which initially led scientists to mistake them for bacteria. Giant viruses are unique in many ways. They are huge in viral terms, hence the name, and can be seen under a regular microscope. Unlike most viruses that require an electron microscope for visualization, their genomes are also enormous, sometimes even larger than those of some bacteria and archaea. This allows them to carry a host of genes that are not typically found in viruses, including those involved in protein synthesis and energy metabolism. But what role do these giant viruses play in our ecosystem? Well, they infect amoeba, single-celled organisms that are abundant in water and soil. By infecting and killing amoeba, they indirectly influence the microbial composition and nutrient cycling in these environments. While they are not currently known to infect humans or animals, the rapid evolution of viruses means we cannot rule out this possibility in the future. As we continue to monitor and study these fascinating entities, we will undoubtedly gain more insights into their potential impacts on our health and the environment. The deadly pathogen that has been referenced in the article is called Naegleria fowleri. It was first discovered in the 1960s in Australia and was unfortunately fatal. The individual affected by the infection succumbed to amoebic meningoencephalitis, a severe brain inflammation caused by the amoeba. But we need to examine the facts a little further. Naegleria species are single-celled amoebae, found around the world, specifically in warm water bodies. Notably, one species, Naegleria fowleri, thrives in warm waters above 30 degrees centigrade and causes primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, or PAM, which is a very rare but almost invariably fatal brain infection. Sounds bad, doesn't it? But listen to this. A pivotal point in our understanding the threat of this parasite is to realize that these bugs have been around forever in warm waters, yet there are only 1 to 8 reported cases a year in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC. So unless there is some widespread immunity-related side effects to the COVID vaccines, I don't see why there would be concern now that these historically non-invasive pathogens would become a problem. Does that mean it can't happen? Never say never. There's compelling evidence that the COVID vaccine acts by forcing our own bodies to create viruses that we are allergic to. That's the way the vaccine works. Instead of injecting a virus into our body to create immunity, the COVID vaccine causes our body to manufacture the virus to create immunity. It's quite fascinating, and I delve deeper into the mechanism of action of the mRNA COVID vaccines in another video, which I will link at the end. So the takeaway on the deadly parasite is that it's extremely rare. It only attacks single-celled organisms, and it has been around a long time and has never been virulent or infectious to man or animals. Next, we'll look at this giant virus in the headlines. So let's look at the interaction between this deadly parasite and giant virus interact and where. As we delve further into the world of giant viruses, it's essential to understand their interactions with their hosts. The process begins when a host cell mistakenly identifies the virus as a food source. The virus, taking advantage of this mistake, enters the cell through a specialized structure known as a stargate. Once inside, the virus quickly establishes a virus factory, effectively turning the host cell into a production house for new viral particles. This process, however, is not without its toll on the host. The host cell's health deteriorates rapidly, leading to its eventual destruction within hours of infection. A fascinating aspect of this interaction is the virus's ability to suppress the host's immune response, keeping the cell alive long enough for the virus to replicate successfully. But what about the host's defense mechanisms? Interestingly, the host's immune response is often suppressed by special proteins produced by the virus, preventing the host cell from initiating an early defense and prolonging its survival until the virus has successfully replicated. These intricate interactions between giant viruses and their hosts underline the complex dynamics of viral infections. As we continue to explore these microscopic worlds, we not only deepen our understanding of these organisms but also uncover potential strategies to combat them. Remember, knowledge is our best defense in the face of these tiny yet formidable adversaries. First, you all realize that we are not single-celled organisms. So from what we know, these giant viruses can't even infect humans or animals. The parasite can, but it's really, really rare. Next, although these potentially beneficial viruses are found almost everywhere, they have only been isolated from a limited number of protist and algal hosts. The newly discovered Naegleria viruses may not be directly applicable to treating Naegleria infections due to the difficulty of accessing the brain where infections occur, and I'm not concerned about that because I'm not so sure creating a virus factory in the human body is a good thing, even if the virus being manufactured only infects single-celled organisms. Why? Because pathogens mutate. And if we keep screwing with Mother Nature, we could turn a completely harmless germ into a killing machine. Nature is complete without our intervention. Don't live in fear of the next killer pathogen. Let Mother Nature help you. Eat lots of basil and oregano. Eat pesto sauce on pasta instead of red sauce. When you guys see these headlines that are shared all over the internet, look beyond the surface. A discovery that maybe preventative treatments in water bodies at risk of contamination is not a bad thing. However, further research is needed to explore this possibility. Nevertheless, the discovery of these viruses does not have to invoke fear in people. Pathogens are part of the plan. One of my goals in my videos is to help people from other walks of life understand the way the human body works and how it is affected by influences around it. I want you to remember from this video that one pathogen like a virus can come into your body and destroy your immune system. Consider the implications of what you now know on the understanding of biowarfare and how dangerous our world has become. We must embrace the upcoming shift in our world, where you will be given options in healing. My goal is to help people understand and choose nature's healing over technology whenever possible, to take responsibility for the body that your habits create and begin to heal. The creation of our universe is incomprehensible to most of us, but I do know that it is very complex, and for mankind to think that it can fix nature is not a good path to be going down. My professional advice to everyone is to go outside, smell flowers on this wonderful spring day, breathe in deeply and close your eyes. Listen to Tara's heartbeat. Invite health and understanding into your life and things will begin to get better. Everything you need to heal yourself is all around you. I try to create a large variety of information on everything from health and science to extraterrestrials and current news. So I hope that you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Don't forget to share with your friends so that everyone in today's world can begin healing.